Hello everyone. So I have received a bunch of requests for me to actually show you how to do a smoky eye. So clearly, if you just look at this, and we're gonna do it, I'm gonna walk you through it. Got some fibers that flew everywhere, but there's actually multiple ways. So this is just going to be one example, and the reason why I say that is we've got 3 different palettes. You guys might still be familiar with this, and you can pretty much do a smoky eye variations of it with each of them. But for the sake of today, and because the people that have been asking me have palette number 3, we're gonna actually do this with palette number 3 and the Splurge in Skeptical, and you're gonna see right away why it is so easy. So the first step, now you can do without this. I wouldn't recommend it. This is the eye primer, and the truth of the matter is, if you want your makeup to actually hold, this is to me it's a must. I mean, I've done it without, and it's fine for a couple of hours, and then your makeup always, kind of runs a little bit. So I'm gonna put this first, and then I'm gonna show you a little trick. The idea of a nice smoky eye, and I went very light on the eyeliner. I didn't go crazy. This is more like an intermediate smoky eye. One of the palette will be a really light one, and the last palette will be the full blonde where you can't miss it kind of thing, although you can't really miss that either. But my trick for you is the tip or the trick to have a really clean smoky eye is to actually stay within the line that's right here. And to achieve that very easily, you're just going to take a little piece of tape and you're going to run it. So you want to kind of make that V right here. So you're going to run it right here. It doesn't have to be like real tight, but you just want to have it, because what it's going to have you do, it's going to make you stop here. And even if you go over, it's going to be on the tape and not on your face. And that's the secret. I bet you didn't know that. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put the Splurge. And again, it's just the perfect tool for the smoky eye. I wouldn't do it without this. It's just so convenient, and just gonna apply it gently on your eyelid. It's always easier to add on than to try to remove it, so I would always start with a little bit and then add to it if you need to. So in the sake of staying within what I've already done, I'm not gonna make it too dark. But this is where, that tape is perfect, because it makes me stop right there. There's no going anywhere else. And look at this. You could honestly, if you're not big into makeup and you don't like all the trouble of everything, you could just use this and have a beautiful eye without, even doing anything else. But for the sake of it, we're actually going to move to palette number 3. And there's a lot of choices, and you could go with the very, very dark one. I actually like to use Stickled to put in my crease, just because it makes it, again, we're going for that intermediate, and actually I'm not using, but we're going with that intermediate smoky eye, so I don't want anything too too really drastic. So again, you kind of tap it and you want to do a V and then put it in your crease. Again, use that tape. Don't be afraid of going on the tape, because that's actually totally fine. And get that crease going. And don't be afraid, we'll come back and blend, because everything's about blending. You don't want any harsh lines. So there you go. It's just kind of adding a little bit of depth without making it too strong. And I kind of like that. I mean, I like my makeup not to be too overpowering. So then I'm gonna use a pen, like one of those brushes that has a little bit of an angle, and I'm gonna go and use Smitten, that white one in the middle. And I'm gonna use that in 2 different places. So I'm actually gonna go in the corner and kind of do the inside V. And the reason why we do this is that it helps kind of separate, like almost increase the distance between your 2 eyes. And you want to do that just because otherwise if it's too close together, it honestly, it looks weird. So some people have naturally like distance eyes, and then it doesn't really matter, but it always kind of helps doing this. And then we're also going to put it right underneath the brow. So the idea here is to actually highlight. Now you can tell I've blended here, so this is not how it's gonna stay. And then the other place I'm gonna put it is right in the middle of my eyelid. And this is, again, just to kind of get some of that highlight and get just a little bit more a dimension, I guess, to your eye. So yeah, if I leave it like this, I look silly, and it's fine. We're not gonna do this. So we're actually gonna take another brush and we're gonna blend it. So always blend the lighter color first. And believe it or not, I'm actually not done, but we'll go. And then kind of blind, not blind, but blend. Don't want to lose that tape. With the crease and with the eyelid, what we put on the eyelid. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm gonna add still a little of my white pencil, and you don't have to. I just kind of really do like to highlight that area. And it really helps to do it that way. Next step is liquid eyeliner. Just a beautiful eyeliner. It's matte, it's not shiny. Some people actually kind of like the shiny ones better. I'm okay with this. So in all honesty, I had never used a liquid eyeliner before, so this is perfect. And so just small strokes. I should have started the other side. It's always a little bit easier to do my other eye. I didn't think about it. It's small strokes. And remember, if your eyes don't look exactly the same, it's not the end of the world. And this one's gonna be a little traumatized, but that's fine. And so, you know, you can just kind of use that tape to also kind of make a little bit of a wing. Again, I'm not trying to go crazy. Just filling in the gaps. It's really just to kind of add some dimension. And then of course, the one thing I'm gonna do before putting the mascara is I'm gonna get that angle brush and I'm gonna use Flippant. And it's that one right here to come and do the underneath. And a little goes a long way, so you just kind of want to tie it up with that wing you just made. And actually, sorry, my mistake, what I'm using is Cheeky. It's the next one, the darker, the darker one, not the lighter one. I was just like, wait a minute, it's not working. It was the wrong color. You can really use whatever you want to do the underside. I honestly like the palettes better, just because you get a better coverage. It's just, to me, it's just easier. So once again, we're gonna take a brush and kind of blend it. I don't like harsh lines, so I'm just gonna blend it through. And then we're gonna do mascara, because, you know, we always have to do the mascara. So remember, 2 tubes. I'm gonna do the gel first. And remember, it's gonna take a little bit longer right now because I'm actually talking a lot to explain. But when you do it, if you're not really used to it, you probably wanna go a little slow at first, and then it'll just get easier as you do it. So from the very base, apply the gel, get a good coverage, because that's going to be your glue for the fibers. And then we're gonna go fibers, and remember, I always tighten it up on that brush so there's not too many loose. There's still gonna be some flying, but that's okay. We'll go and clean them, no big deal. So with the fibers, you only want to go 3/4 in. Don't go all the way at the base, because that will put fibers inside your eye, and it is not fun. Alright, so I don't know if you can see, but I have fibers everywhere, so I'm actually going to clean them right away, just because I don't like to leave them. But see, all you have to do is just kind of use a brush, and there you go. My tape doesn't want to stay here. And then you're just gonna do the sealing coat of gel. There you go. So that one you really want everywhere, because this is what's gonna seal your fibers in place so they don't keep falling on your face all day long. I always kind of do it on top a little bit too, and then brush it back up, just to really get a good seal. I want to hit all of them all across. Alright. And then of course do the bottom. I would personally recommend no fibers on the bottom. It's just not worth it. Alright, so let me show you why this tape is fabulous. Now, if I remove it, look up. I mean, this is just perfect. It's so clean. It's just, I love it. I absolutely love it. Now, you can kind of pull the wing up a little if you want to. That's totally up to you. But there you go. So palette 2, and then you know, this little magnificent thing, Skeptical and Splurge, and you're set. You get a beautiful, you know, smoky eye without being too overpowering. And you know, it all depends. So this is me going out for dinner, and this will be perfect if you know, you're going out dancing at night and you actually need something that's a little bit more dramatic. We'll see it next time. Use it. If I'm not mistaken, it's using palette 2. So here you go. Hope you that it made sense. And I'm just gonna put a little bit of lipstick. I don't know if yes I do, I have it out. And when you do your eyes, the one thing I would recommend is you either want to have bold lips or bold eyes. You do not want to have bold everything. So I'm staying with something very delicate and subdued for my lips, and it's ritzy, and I love that lipstick, and I'm good to go. All right, bye.